It's just I wanted to maybe cross-check. Now that the auditor may not have had sight of what governor asked, how do we proceed? Governor, had you shared that in what you want to us with the Auditor General?
No, not Chair.
Because they addressed that issue, I think, if I look at page 38, there is aging analysis. So if you demonstrate what you done to those payables, I think you need to be on the same page with the auditor. So I don't know how we will proceed now that the auditors don't have the information that you intend to pass over to us. Chair, that's the matter of procedure to draw to your attention.
I agree with you, Senator Omogen. I think we had this situation yesterday. And when we attempted to proceed via oral submissions, it got murkier. And we were with your good friend, Professor Nyong'o, and it was tidy when trying to explain numbers using words. So maybe since Senator Morgan, you have brought attention to note number 32 on trade and other payables, we can tie two issues, because on this issue, the Auditor General is saying the report the control of budgets is different from the report that they have submitted. That is a matter of serious concern. Then at the same time, the auditor is saying that your trade and other payables have been outstanding for too long. So let's tie the two, see whether you've got a better documented explanation on that other matter, because if it's again an oral thing, then we're going to have problems. So Auditor General, just read for us your finding on long outstanding, and then we can interrogate and see whether we are ready to make progress.
Thank you, Chair. Long outstanding pending bills. Review of the Universal Pending Bills Report as at 30th June 2025. Revealed that as at 30th June 2025, the County Executive had long outstanding pending bills from prior years, totaling to Kenya shillings 1,327,705,561. Examination of the payments made during the year review indicated Kenya shillings 57,326,472 related to bills incurred in the year 2023-2024. Although Murang'A County Executive made efforts to settle pending bills during the year, historical pending bills dating back to the year 2015 amounted to Kenya shillings 448, 144,407 remained unpaid and were not treated as first charge on the budget. This was contrary to provisions of Section 94, subsection 1 of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations. Regulation 94, sub-regulation 1 of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations 2015. No justification was provided for failure by management to prioritize the treatment of these outstanding obligations. Thank you.
Okay, Governor, what was here to see whether if we tie it to the first issue, we can get some answers? And maybe just tell us the page where it's from.
Chair, page 15. Page 15.
Page 15.
Yes. Page 10, sorry, page 10.
Okay, yeah, please proceed.
The County Executive acknowledges the audit findings and reaffirms its commitment to Regulation 94, Subarticle 1 of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations 2015. Consistent with this mandate, the settlement of pending bills was prioritized as a first on the budget for financial year 2024-2025. Status of settlement: the county successfully settled 881,249,078.27, which was part of the K shillings 448,144,407, achieving a liquidation rate of 46%. This significant payment demonstrates management's proactive effort to reduce obligation despite competing service delivery needs and external fiscal constraints.
Clerk of the Senate, what were our recommendations on that matter? I believe they are similar to what you read for the first matter. Is there any variation?
No, Chair.
And the thrust of it all was that you needed to come up with a payment plan, share it with the control of budget, statements on how to settle debt older than 365 days, how to prioritize statutory deductions, and so we don't have to read it again because it's read out. Did you get our recommendations, Governor? Because you are not responding to our recommendations. Senator Maruma?
Even as the governor consults, there's also paragraph 13, also on pending bills. I don't know how we're able to tie the three, because it looks similar. It looks, it talks about non-adherence to the payment plan given to the control budget.
And as you can see, the response to paragraph 13 is the same as the response to paragraph 7, word for word. So let's understand what we are responding to. You are supposed to respond to our recommendations. Those recommendations were communicated. Even if you go to the Senate website now, the report that we tabled, debated, and was adopted is on the Senate website. It's a public document. Clerk submitted was it as, do you call it a certificate or a memorandum?
Memorandum.
Clerk submitted a memorandum to all the 47 counties and other entities like ESCC, OAG, ODPP, IG, everybody got a copy of our recommendations. I understand whether we're on the same page or there was some breakdown in communication. Because if we establish that, we can be able to understand each other and know what to ask and what not to ask. Governor.
Chair, Mama is telling me they did not get the communication, the written communication. As to the one on the website, if indeed it is there, then maybe we may have an issue. But a written one to either my CC or my chief officer, they're telling me they didn't get one.
No, I was copied in on the correspondence to all accounting officers. And clerk, can you confirm you submitted our recommendation by email or by post?
It was
by email. Just confirm the address that we used to convey our memorandum to Murang'A. Because you are the first county to tell us you didn't see. The rest of the counties have been responding to our recommendations. This is an implementation meeting. The audit has been done. The Senate has adopted the report of the Auditor General. The Senate has made recommendations. It is now for you to respond to those recommendations. If we make a recommendation that is unrealistic, it is for you to tell us that from where you sit, from your cash flow, recommendation not be implemented. And we would agree with you as a person on the ground. But we can't have a conversation outside conditions. I don't know whether I'm being too technical. If someone can put it in a kind of the language the governor uses when he's writing his articles, uses simple language. Yeah, so I don't know whether I'm being overly technical on this. Governor, do you understand where you're coming from?
Yes, Chair. In fact, it makes a lot of sense. Those that will be more specific and more systematic. If we had that case where we are coming to reply to that, we strongly believe that will be easier on our part.
So then are you telling us that you're not able to tell us the state of implementation of our recommendations? Yeah, are you able to tell us whether you have done anything to implement or address the recommendations we had made as a Senate?
We can tell here now.
How will you, if what you're telling us is true, Governor, that you've seen what we recommended you to do, How will you tell us the state of implementation of our recommendations? I think that's the position in what we recommended you should do. How will he tell us the status of how far he has gone in implementing what we recommended?
Maybe, Senior Counsel, since you brought our attention to the note 32 and 38, let's look at it and see whether we are able to make sense out of it. Because those specific recommendations we made would address the numbers that we are seeing under note 32. You've got the total debt broken down. You've got the total debt 8 to 3.2 billion. So, if we just use that as a test case to see whether we are able to make further progress. Yeah, because the first concern was a variation in numbers between what the controller budget has and what the auditors have. You have said some reconciliation is ongoing, no evidence has been presented. The second concern is long-standing trade payables. We can see it in note 32. Where you have done your aging. So let's go to note 32, trade and other payables. And in our recommendation, we have said that statutory deduction and employee payables should be set within what duration, Clark? Was it
90 days.
Within 90 days. So you've got 1.098 billion has been set.
Chair, no.
Why?
Chair, the truth is, the county cash flow as it is, we would really struggle if we use it as it is to pay those payments. Therefore, what we did is we wrote a letter to, there are about 3 organizations that are involved. For care that we pay, and I think we are paying that one. But the greatest one with is the one for CPF and the lab fund, lab trust and lab fund. And we wrote to them. We told them we do a debt swap. That is, we give them some land, with them asking us to use our cash flow to them to pay that huge debts. And the rationale was that employees, mainly, quite a number may be interested in getting maybe a plot or a house, because that's what those 2 organizations generally tend to do with the money they mobilize. We thought we are asset rich but cash poor, and through oral discussion with the CEOs of the 2 organizations, they were agreeable. So we entered it. Chair, we are waiting to hear the replies. Otherwise, if we
have maybe any document show that to prove that you documented it, you wrote to them any correspondence?
Yes, we have it. The problem is we have it. It was not availed in the reply, but we have it here now.
Secondly, for me, Chair, there is employee payables of 1,098,962,027. What do they constitute?
What's the makeup? Because you might be answering a different question. What is the breakdown of that 1,098 million?
Yes, allow me to yield to Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. In terms of the payables that is pending at the moment, we had 1.1 billion. We've paid 506 million. We are remaining with a balance of 689 million for the staff pay.
Did you hear the question? Maybe you didn't hear, Professor, the question. The question is this 1 million. How do you break it down?
1 billion.
1 billion. How do you break it down? Before you even start paying,
Yeah.
how do you break it down? What is it? The same way you said that we have other personal costs, staff claims, 30 million. We have other payables, gratuity, 6.6 million. CHPs, 10 million. This 1 billion, 1.09 billion. How do you break it down?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We can get that details from the Chief Officer in terms of how that is.
Yes, Chair, we can provide a specific breakdown up to what organization we owe, whether CPF or even the other organization, together with other unpaid money, if given time.
Yeah, because the question by Senator Mwaruma was to establish whether indeed these are those old pension obligations, because if they were, then under the aging analysis, we would be seeing bigger debt in the older years. But we are seeing under 1 year, 2.5 billion. That's why we're asking, what is this? Because is it that there was a salary that was not paid, maybe for June, and it rolled over to the new year? Or is it true that you owe employees 1.1 billion in unremitted statutory contributions? If that was the case, then Murang'A would be a crime scene, because we have not seen that kind of figure with respect to statutory deductions. So can we, even as we say that we are going to get a detailed breakdown, someone in your organization should know. There are some times you just look at it and you know that your last disbursement came late. So you close the year, you did pay salaries, and then you paid. Is it that case, or do you want to tell us that you have deducted 1 billion from employees and not remitted?
Okay, Chair, some of these debts are they are for the former authorities which have been with us in our books, which have never been paid, and they remain with us, and also and many other instances where you are right that there were deductions and there were no remittances to the pension organization. That one, Chair, is admitted, but we can.
But to the tune of 1 billion? I don't think I've seen anything like that in terms of unremitted statutory deductions. Governor, I think your team should advise you better, because there's an entire paragraph on statutory and deductions. And when we see the numbers that have been cited by the Auditor General, it does not add up to 1.1 billion.
Chair, you allow me, the director who handles pending bills.
Okay, please give us that's good news today. We are used to too much bad news. It can't be that you owe staff 1.1 billion in deducted but unremitted contributions. That is theft. That is employer stealing from employees.
So, thank you, Chair. From our action plan, one element was a salary of June that was 371, which was paid immediately in July.
So it reduces it to 700 million
Yes.
or
now,
maybe 800 million.
yes, now that captures the pensions deductions that form part of the pension deductions. There are circle deductions.
Is 351 gross or net?
It was gross.
Yeah, if it's gross, then it takes care of all those deductions for that month.
Yeah.
So you're telling us that there are some SACCO deductions you have done in the past which you have not remitted. How much is it?
Unless we do the
No. You offer the information, we will go with you to the end. How much have you deducted from employees for SACCOs and you have not remitted?
unless I'm given some time to tabulate.
But I thought you were reading from your report. It was 351, you said 351 for June. 371. Yeah, that makes sense, because there could be delays, that's okay. So what about the balance? Is it all historical pensions obligations? Probably not.
Okay, some of them are historical.
How much is historical?
I'm going to ask for some time to get the totals because yes.
Cherargei, maybe it feels like when you're rich, you never know who you owe. Mimi najua zote. Ukiwa na pesa unasahau madeni.
And you know, coincidentally, Murang'A come from Murang'A. They are so huge to wealth, and that explains everything. Because I tend to, you know, Governor, you have said there is somebody in charge of pending bills. I have seen your statement or your response that the amount that you have paid, which is 881,249,078, could it hard to get even the schedule on how much you have paid? And that is all of, I think that you have indicated, which you have indicated at 46%. Why do you share in number of trade? So my question one, Governor, where is the schedule of this payment that total 800,249,070? Secondly, on this aging, what were you doing under that? You pending bill or rose to 79% in that is 850 million. Number two, I see that 83 million, 64 for 85. Why they expect that to be my finally on the original question, Governor, that was by the it says explain. Explain the variation. in terms of this, I saw people in Ngoma, and he was calculating national presidential vote. So he must give us the number probably, so that we can use with numbers. I saw him explain numbers. I thought there was 1 billion. Now let's assume that if your professor is here to give us the breakdown, but you and me know these are certain reductions. It means money already coming out of the budget as it will be deducted. It belongs to the plan who left parliament. You are going to use your money. Unless some money through the chair, you are going to commission. Yeah, commission of this family members exit. Offices or use an election because it is their money. So what is by this one? The employees I know in Murang'A governor, service. You know them. You know how much has been deducted. People who have retired from Murang'A, they are retirees. You know them. You know the money you owe them through statutory reductions, and you have not paid in terms of medical expenses. What is the story behind this was like services and not on this employment. I know the government is not so brief. Answers. I know the government was ready for this matter. Because the original question I owe you was explain. So we need to ask the governor if you are not ready now, you can request more time so that you as the fact we really want to know when I see employees. We are not seeing any other county. You are my friend. So don't run away to Linda Mwananchi and DCP. We have seen something with this country. To be fair, I know you wouldn't want to lie to you. So please, I'm and if it pleases the country, this material, the SEC must be up this so that this matter because the people of Murang'A, it is not a favor. This is their money.
Back to the original conversation, but if we are responding to recommendations, they will get responses. Because recommendations, we say what you need to do with employables. We get times when we start to we get on dealing with commission obligations. We get guidance on how to deal with the over years. All these would be to a plan that is shared with the controller to ensure that this debt is clear as well.
Yes, Chair, there is, and we are sorry to not next year, but I think more to this Chair. Last 2 weeks, we had a discussion that this problem of debts to everyone, whether pension or even bonds. We also told the Assembly that this year we might not do a lot of projects. We'll turn down projects, so we concentrate more towards payment of debts. We even that should be paid based on the exchequer releases that you have published month by month, and shows how much to pay out these debts, Chair. And because we that's one cause that will then show how this problem of, let's say, is created before we go into the new election. We are on the last also MCs that they understand is not our intention to go into the next year with that's parallel to the discussion and the proposal we have done the pensions since telling them that maybe that debt needs to be done because if we money towards that will definitely constrain the service. Making some historical or actually in remittance of the salary. But yeah, we'll be very glad that will show how we intend to liquidate this debt. If after that would within 1 year to be nature.
You also have a question, Cherargei, which let me rephrase. Look at that note. Your trade payables grew from 1.3 billion to 3.2 billion, growth of 1.9 billion in a year. And that's why we're building this. If I'm those efforts to reduce it, it's increasing. It's beyond double from 1.3 billion to 3 billion. That one figure is 100% growth. It means that the intentions you are seeing and how those are presented to us. How I wish that there was a plan that able to confirm that is going on within the county government of Murang'A. Now, I think I would love to tell you on how to proceed, considering that the institution to our relations, because we start looking like we are fishing.
Should I say something? Not to that the debt has been increasing. The 1.3 billion you have made reference to is the which we captured in our books. Maybe my chief officer can explain. But it is not an increase as we have stated.
Chair.
Well, I'm just looking at opening, closing and opening balances.
Yes.
We're just looking at, you closed at 1.3 billion and you closed the prior year at 1.3 billion and closed the subsequent year at 3 financial statements speak for themselves.
As a debt, but once the money comes, then it is liquidated.
As we looked at these financial statements, just by looking at the total.
Thank you, Chair. It is true that the debt has grown by 1 billion. We looked at the nitty-gritties as at 30th May. We did an intensive audit of these as at that has to May 26th, Chair, and we're going by started the Chair. And we both chapter 412. Out of 1 to 7 million, out of 1 to payables between 1 to 2 years, 1 million to Kenya shillings 268 to 51 over 3 years. The bill wanted that collision between the county and the city. And they are aware of amount, especially CRF that purpose that are not be by copy because the reporting had a role. However, we should to consumers was able to receive that because of an increase by
So when the county was able to receive that money, concern is whether it was to tables by
some by other settled chair. That's again intensive nitty-gritties of the tribes. We continue to be the current status has not been provided to us.
We are a bit frustrated. You have, I think, the professor, I think his ISPAC number is we should not be having this conversation we're having. They should understand the process that in this exercise, we want your answers on our recommendations. We are very detailed, and I don't think we'll make a lot of progress with all the issues on now. We have a payment plan when it was used in days without areas. That the 434 million would be very happy to see that older than 3 years. We asked ourselves, why should that sit a book for 5 years? What is it? What verification is it that we are still waiting for? What document is it that cannot be provided in 5 years that should keep half in a book for more 3 years? There is no chance that people connected with the administration. Unfortunately, we can only speculate because we don't have a shield. We don't have this. We don't have payment. We have the control budgets assessment. The budget is different, is lower from the senior the books in the financial statements. And so I think we might want to avoid now that the is on the ground to do a much more report on this particular matter. As we try from issue of engagement and actions and so even if we are waiting until 526, let's have the author read a finding on respect to action for that particular matter we can give appreciations. As it's set up.
I think you just is I'm a member of this committee. I think you.
Aribu Center. Statutory and it touches on what we are discussing, but you have given facts. So let's see whether the governor has responded factually.
Thank you, Chair. remitted statutory and pension deductions. The statement of financial position and as disclosed in note 32 to the financial statements reflects Kenya shillings 3,228,000,000 to 6,300 trade and variables, out of which amount of 695.
This 67.5. 5.3 and
Chair, and remit the situation data, the of financial and as discussed. 32 to states Kenya shillings 3. Out of which 112 to 8. A view of the universal pending report as at June 25 revealed that the county executive had pending shillings 1,000,000,000 out of Kenya shillings 1,195,580 compared bills relating to salary areas, including these of NSSF, which of 15 penalty, 5% penalty for the amount you pay as 27, section 1 of the National Social Security Funds, pension contribution of financial million, LAP fund, and Kenya shillings 201,815, 738 to the financial scheme for retirement. Thank you, Chair.
what's your response?
Is 1 billion. Ships of regarding pensions for 5,100,182. Which is the to this body lab trust. And public service supervision. The chair we can provide.
The clerk was a recommendation, similar to the recommendation. And you can dig up a recommendation because unlimited statutory deductions is unfeasible. I think it has referred to the one related to necessary. But in that analysis, the figures they audited talk about 404 million. Out of 1.19 billion. So the question is, what is the composition of the 700 million? What was it? So could it suppose the insurance premiums, areas? The share was of only fund trust, the recognition scheme. They deal with that their deduction cycles, their deduction for staff insurance, their deduction for homes. Because it would the governor. If you from Louis, not to my banks and not that would reverse gains that are making the livelihoods of the people. If country trade is well, but that's what. So what is that amount that is remaining. You have said 425 million has been paid. But still leaves 700 million.
This is actually divided into two. You have the principal amount, being, let's say, to lap trust. Then you have the penalty. And we are having those discussions to with penalty, but because they are not being concluded, so the county captures the data. But some of those are interest.
Chair, the company can do better job if we give them time. For instance, if they are saying they have paid 45 million on 10,002 shillings, we can easily get if we give them time. What constitutes if we give them time? But also, Chair, for me, the question that I want to ask to the audience, because the way this question, it's the statement of financial position in 3.2 billion in receivables. However, the universal pending bills repeat 1 billion. What is the difference? So these are two sets. The first statements are revealing 3.2 billion. Another figure of 1 billion for pending bills report. What is the difference from 3.2 and 1? How are reconciling? That would be my question. Auditors.
The auditor, please, if we, yes, I have maybe some breakdown we can help the committee. First is that most of these debts are incurred by the during the COVID period, and they come this way. So that's how you arrive at 1 billion. The gross salary that the money that never came was 371 million. It grew to 39 million up fund, last to 2 million. Housing levy 9.6 million. SACS insurances 1 million. 2 million. Bonus in particular case 6 million. Meaning that 2022. Thank you. Chair.
So as the chair in 2020, 2022, the rest. What the plans? The people are owed by the banks should really be suffering, and they could be auctioned. What are the plans to pay those?
Yes, this one's if the county has made requisition to pay, we have gotten some vetoes at the CB, and we are wishing to see how we can answer that veto by CB, particularly for KCB. We are ready to pay. But
0.2 and 1.9. What do you mean by universal pending bills? Report.
Thank you, Chair. The first question first. We got the 9 billion, that's 9.1.8. So the total 3 billion 28, 256. Chair, when you look at the last component there transferred to CRF, it is, the description is not very correct, it's supposed to be transfers to other government entities of 1,306,767,570. When you subtract this money from the 3.2 billion, it gives you 1.9 million. The 1.3 billion, Chair, this amount is in respect to amount that is this amount is purpose.
Chair.
In respect to
I have heard the governor explain that appreciated and that is by COB. Certain payments. Chair, can we get a detail on all the issues? If they agree to pay and their budget might pay, why is he doing that?
if you are not getting answers, and not getting answers, then we'll have to issue an appropriate time. Because as we have established the governor's answers, I think you went for the bare minimum. You went for the bare minimum in terms of information. And you have started in this committee, you know, there. So you cannot give us the barest of minimum when it comes to accountability. So we will need to take a view on that.
I think we have spent almost 2 hours on this and not made any headway for us to agree to just bare minimum. There are no concrete answers to many of the issues that we have raised. So let me look at the if the governor, for example, take amount, for example, say this is the March, this is not even if entities, some entities, some but there is no proof of even an attachment.
Something to be documented.
To have attached,
and that's the evidence that could have helped us to make some progress.
So that we have a view, just a second, so that we have a view, allied goods and services to Murang'A, our people who are being owed
These are the 6 sub-county chairmen of Baringo. Mr. Chebunyor is representing Baringo South. Naweza kaa chini. Mzee Bet representing Baringo North. Mr. Amisi representing Mogotio constituency. And Mr. Kipto is representing Tiati constituency. Mr. Mugweli is representing Eldama Ravine. And Mr. Alex is representing Baringo Central. So I think I can introduce the CCs. The CCs. I had the CCs. Is Mr. Okech. Yeah, Stephen. We have the office, the ODM Baringo office. It is represented by Agnes Aengwa, who is the secretary. Madam Selina is the treasurer of Baringo County. We have Mr. Ikimo, organizing secretary, Baringo County. We have Collins Oduor, youth representative Baringo, and others. So I'm very happy to meet you. I think you have felt.
ODM Baringo, mnataka nini? Aya, mimi nataka aspirants 3 kwa heshima peke yake. Mwanaume moja, mama moja na youth. Simameni. Waonge. Oh, afadhali, sorry. Mimi ni mwanasiasa, poleni. Aya, kujeni. Kujeni aspirants wamfalishiwe na party leader.
Okay, ODM. Mimi naitwa Janet Buret, kwa ile jina ingine naitwa Jemeli Chirwon. Hiyo ingine ilikuwa ya kina ng'ombe. Ninasimama MCA Kabarnet Ward. Yeah. Thank you.
ODM. Mimi ndio Tony, nasimama Mogotio MCA.
Unatoka chama gani? Ukuja kwa chama yetu?
Hakuna.
Ulikuwa una chama?
Niko ODM.
Uko ODM? Okay. Asante.
ODM. Kwa majina naitwa Labad Leanapir, natoka Elchamu Suwad. Natafuta kiti cha MCA.
ODM. Mimi naitwa Isaiah Piwot Kang'Ata, mimi ni life member wa ODM. Nasimama kiti cha mbunge wa Baringo ya Kati katika chama cha ODM. I'm actually the next member of parliament for Baringo Central. Thank you so much.
ODM. Kwa jina mimi naitwa Owino Michael. Mimi natoka Eldama Ravine. Nasimama